Scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost. These three concepts form the very foundation of economics. They're not just abstract ideas you learn in a classroom. They shape the way we live, work, and govern. Let's dive into these concepts from the perspectives of consumers, producers, and governments, exploring how each agent encounters scarcity, makes choices, and faces opportunity costs in their daily decisions. Imagine you're a consumer standing in a supermarket aisle. You've got a budget, maybe $100 for groceries this week. The shelves are packed with options: organic apples, regular apples, imported cheese, local bread, frozen pizzas, fresh vegetables, but your wallet isn't bottomless, and neither is your time. This is scarcity, the fundamental economic problem that resources, money, time, energy are limited while our wants are virtually endless. You want to eat healthy, but you also crave snacks. You want convenience, but maybe you also want to save for a vacation. Scarcity forces you to prioritize, so you start making choices. Do you buy the organic apples, which cost twice as much, or settle for the regular ones? Do you splurge on that fancy cheese or stick with something more affordable? Each choice involves weighing pros and cons, considering what matters most to you right now. Maybe you decide to buy the organic apples, sacrificing the cheese. That's where opportunity cost comes in, the next best thing you give up when you make a choice. In this case, the opportunity cost of choosing organic apples is the enjoyment you would have gotten from the cheese. Every decision you make as a consumer involves opportunity cost, even if you don't consciously think about it. Now, let's shift perspectives and imagine you're a producer, a small business owner, maybe running a bakery. You wake up early every morning, prepping dough and planning your menu, but your resources are limited. You have only so much flour, sugar, oven space, and staff hours. You'd love to offer 10 varieties of bread, but you can realistically make 5. Scarcity is at play again. You have to decide which breads to bake, knowing some will sell better than others. Should you focus on sourdough, which takes longer but has loyal customers, or churn out more baguettes, which are quick but less profitable? Your choices as a producer are shaped by market demand, your production capacity, and your goals. If you choose to make more sourdough, the opportunity cost might be fewer baguettes sold. If you invest in a new oven, the opportunity cost could be money not spent on advertising. Producers constantly juggle these trade-offs, seeking to maximize profit while minimizing wasted resources. Scarcity forces them to innovate, streamline processes, and sometimes make tough calls about layoffs or expansion. Governments, too, face scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost, often on a much larger scale. Imagine a city council deciding how to allocate its annual budget. There's never enough money to do everything: build new schools, repair roads, fund healthcare, boost police patrols, protect the environment. Scarcity means hard limits. The council must choose which projects get funded, knowing that every dollar spent on one initiative is a dollar not spent elsewhere. Here, opportunity cost becomes especially significant. If the government invests $10 million in a new hospital, the opportunity cost might be fewer resources for education or infrastructure. These decisions are rarely easy, and they often involve heated debates about priorities. Should the city focus on immediate needs like pothole repairs or invest in long-term projects like renewable energy? Every choice reflects values and priorities, but always at the expense of something else. Let's dig deeper into how these concepts play out in real life, starting with consumers. Take a family planning their summer vacation. They have limited savings and several options: a road trip, a beach resort, or visiting relatives. Scarcity is evident. They can't afford all three. So they weigh their choices, considering cost, experience, and convenience. If they choose the beach resort, the opportunity cost is missing out on quality time with relatives or the adventure of a road trip. Sometimes opportunity cost isn't just about money. It's about experiences, memories, and emotional value. Consumers also face opportunity costs in everyday decisions. Choosing to spend money on coffee every morning might mean less saved for retirement. Spending time binge-watching TV could mean less time for exercise or learning new skills. Scarcity of time is just as real as scarcity of money. Every choice involves trade-offs, and recognizing opportunity cost helps consumers make more informed decisions. Producers, on the other hand, often face more complex opportunity costs. Consider a tech company deciding whether to develop a new smartphone or invest in wearable technology. Both require significant resources: money, talent, research, and development time. Scarcity dictates that the company can't do both simultaneously at the same scale. The choice to pursue one project over another shapes the company's future, market position, and profitability. The opportunity cost of developing the smartphone could be falling behind competitors in wearables, or vice versa. Producers also grapple with opportunity costs in resource allocation. Should a factory invest in automation to boost efficiency or hire more workers to increase output? Should a farmer plant wheat or corn knowing that market prices fluctuate? These decisions are influenced by expectations, risk tolerance, and the desire to maximize returns. The concept of opportunity cost encourages producers to think strategically, weighing not just immediate gains but long-term impacts. For governments, the stakes are even higher. National budgets run into billions, sometimes trillions, and the choices made affect millions of lives. Scarcity is ever present. No government has unlimited resources. Every policy decision involves opportunity cost. If a government increases defense spending, the opportunity cost might be less funding for healthcare or education. If it prioritizes environmental protection, it may need to compromise on industrial growth or job creation. Government choices often reflect political priorities, public opinion, and economic forecasts. During a crisis, such as a pandemic, governments must allocate scarce resources like medical supplies, vaccines, and financial aid. The opportunity cost of focusing on one area, say vaccine distribution, might be slower economic recovery or reduced investment in other health issues. These decisions are fraught with complexity, and leaders must balance short-term needs with long-term goals. Let's look at how scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost interact in a global context. Consider the issue of climate change. Governments worldwide face the scarcity of clean air, water, and sustainable resources. Choices must be made about investing in renewable energy, regulating emissions, or supporting traditional industries. The opportunity cost of aggressive environmental policies might be slower economic growth or job losses in certain sectors. Conversely, the opportunity cost of ignoring climate change could be catastrophic damage to ecosystems, public health, and future generations. Producers are also affected by global scarcity. A car manufacturer facing rising steel prices must decide whether to absorb the cost, pass it on to consumers, or seek alternative materials. The opportunity cost of each choice affects competitiveness, profitability, and market share. Consumers, too, feel the impact: higher prices, fewer options, and changing product quality. Scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost aren't just economic theories, they're practical realities. They shape how we allocate resources, set priorities, and manage trade-offs. Understanding these concepts helps us make better decisions, whether we're shopping for groceries, running a business, or governing a country. Let's bring this down to a more personal level. Think about your own daily routine. You wake up with a limited amount of time and energy. You can spend an hour exercising, reading, working, or relaxing. Scarcity of time forces you to choose. If you decide to exercise, the opportunity cost is the hour you could have spent reading or finishing a work project. Recognizing these trade-offs can help you align your choices with your values and goals. Now, consider a student deciding how to spend their evening. They have homework, a part-time job, friends inviting them out, and a favorite TV show airing. Scarcity of time and energy means they can't do everything. Choosing to work on homework means missing out on socializing or entertainment. The opportunity cost is the fun or relaxation they forego. These decisions shape academic success, friendships, and personal growth. On a larger scale, businesses often use opportunity cost to guide strategic decisions. A restaurant might decide to open a new location, knowing the opportunity cost is the investment not made in upgrading the current kitchen. A retailer might stock more winter clothes, sacrificing shelf space for summer items. These choices are informed by market research, consumer preferences, and financial constraints. Scarcity drives innovation, as businesses seek to do more with less. Governments, too, use the opportunity cost as a tool for policy analysis. When considering new laws or programs, policymakers ask, what are we giving up to pursue this option? Should we invest in public transportation or expand highways, fund scientific research, or increase military spending? These questions are central to effective governance, ensuring resources are used where they have the greatest impact. Scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost also play a role in international relations. Countries must decide how to allocate foreign aid, negotiate trade agreements, or respond to global crises. Scarcity of resources, be it oil, water, or skilled labor, drives competition and cooperation. The opportunity cost of supporting one ally might be alienating another. These dynamics shape global politics, economics, and security. Let's explore how technology influences these concepts. Advances in automation, artificial intelligence, and digital platforms have changed the landscape of scarcity. Information, once scarce and expensive, is now abundant and accessible. Yet new scarcities emerge: privacy, attention, and cybersecurity. Consumers must choose how to manage personal data, balancing convenience with security. Producers invest in technology, facing opportunity costs in traditional business models. Governments regulate digital markets, weighing innovation against public safety. Scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost are also central to environmental sustainability. As natural resources dwindle, all economic agents must adapt. Consumers choose eco-friendly products, often paying higher prices. Producers invest in green technologies, sometimes sacrificing short-term profits for long-term viability. Governments enact policies to protect the environment, facing opportunity costs in economic growth and employment. Education is another area where these concepts come alive. Students must choose courses, majors, and career paths, knowing they can't do everything. The opportunity cost of studying engineering might be missing out on a passion for art. Schools allocate resources to different programs, sacrificing some opportunities for others. Governments fund education, weighing the benefits against other public needs. Healthcare presents its own challenges of scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost. Patients choose treatments, doctors, and insurance plans, often constrained by limited information and resources. Hospitals allocate beds, staff, and equipment, sometimes forced to make life or death decisions. Governments fund public health initiatives, balancing disease prevention against acute care. In the world of finance, investors face scarcity in capital and time. They choose where to invest: stocks, bonds, real estate. Knowing each decision has an opportunity cost. The choice to invest in one asset means foregoing potential returns from another. Scarcity drives markets, influencing prices, risk, and reward. Scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost even shape our social lives. We choose friends, activities, and commitments, knowing we can't do everything. The opportunity cost of attending one event is missing another. Scarcity of time and emotional energy forces us to prioritize relationships and experiences. Let's return to the perspective of producers, focusing on innovation. Scarcity often sparks creativity. Limited resources push businesses to find new solutions, streamline operations, and differentiate products. The opportunity cost of investing in research and development might be slower short-term growth, but the long-term payoff can be market leadership. Consumers, too, innovate in response to scarcity. Faced with rising prices, they seek bargains, switch brands, or adopt new habits. Scarcity drives demand for sharing economies, ride-sharing, home-sharing, and freelance work. Opportunity cost guides these choices, as consumers weigh convenience, cost, and quality. Governments promote innovation to overcome scarcity, funding research, supporting startups, and fostering education. The opportunity cost of these investments is often visible in reduced spending elsewhere, but the potential for economic growth and social progress is immense. Scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost are woven into the fabric of society. They influence culture, values, and priorities. In times of abundance, choices are easier, and opportunity costs seem less significant. But in times of crisis, recession, war, pandemic, scarcity sharpens, choices become harder, and opportunity costs loom large. Understanding these concepts empowers individuals, businesses, and governments to make better decisions. It encourages us to think critically, plan strategically, and act responsibly. Scarcity reminds us that resources are finite, choice gives us agency, and opportunity cost helps us see the true price of every decision. Ultimately, economics isn't just about numbers or markets. It's about people. Scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost are universal experiences, shaping the way we live, work, and dream. By recognizing these forces, we can navigate complexity, embrace change, and build a more thoughtful, equitable world. As we reflect on these concepts, it's clear that they're not just academic. They're deeply personal. Every day we face scarcity, make choices, and incur opportunity costs. Whether we're consumers deciding what to buy, producers choosing what to make, or governments allocating resources, these principles guide our actions and shape our futures. So next time you're faced with a decision, big or small, remember the lessons of scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost. Consider what you're giving up, what you're gaining, and how your choices reflect your values. In doing so, you'll not only make better decisions for yourself, but contribute to a wiser, more resilient society.